So you're being told to go through your local real estate association, right? You were told to join a local real estate investment association. You were told to literally go into the county records, city records, and find out the people that are buying the most houses with an LLC name. You were told that these are the cash buyers in your local area, and you should collect their information. You should collect their data. You should collect their phone number, find out exactly what they're looking for, so you can find them a house that fits their criteria, so you can make uh $5,000, $10,000, $20 by helping them find these properties, right? By helping them find and identify deals, right? But then something happened. You secured your first deal, but then all those people that promised that they were cash buyers, that promised that they know what they were doing, and all you had to do is find the perfect property for them, and then you find out that none of them is willing to give you money. None of them is willing to be a real player in the game. As a matter of fact, none of them are real players, okay? Because they're just all mouthing off, right? Or maybe they're just pretense cash buyers that are just also looking for properties that they want to wholesale. There's a lot of fakes in the business. A lot of people that claim they are cash buyers, but they are not really cash buyers. They're just in the game to try to game somebody else. They tell you they're gonna buy your house, but then they're gonna turn around and try to wholesale it. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a wholesaler, because I'm one myself. The problem there is disclosure. The problem there is authenticity. The problem there is transparency. And when you have a little bit of lie, then you have to tell another lie to protect it, another lie to protect it, another lie to protect it. And that's why today I'm bringing you this topic here: how to invest. Now, how to invest, how to find investors for flipping house, okay, for profit, for $10,000 to $20,000 profit. That's why we're here today. I want to show you how to find investors for house flipping to pay you $10,000 to $20,000 per deal, as opposed to you scrambling around trying to talk to the people in your local association. I guarantee you 99.999% of the time, when you have a property that's good to go, that you feel like it's a good deal, or your numbers, you're going to have a cash buyer that's going to give you all kind of crazy excuses, like the comps are not good enough, like no, the property is not worth that much, or like, hey, let me call you back, and they never call back. You're going to find that. And how do we solve that problem? That's what we're here to talk about today. So again, today we're going to be talking about, I'm going to switch my screens in a second here. So if you're listening to me, just listen carefully. If you're listening to me on the podcast, just listen to me carefully. Now, before we get into that, I want to implore you that the details of everything I'm going to share with you in this particular episode, elaborate everything step by step. You can find it in the book, and that book you can find it at myempirepro.com. Myempirepro.com. Essentially, it's a book called Empire Lifestyle Secrets that I wrote. It. My name is Ola Talks Abitogun, and you want to get your hands on that book. Is absolutely free. Just go to www.myempirepro.com and get your hands on the book absolutely for free, okay? And take advantage of it. But I'm going to try my best to cover this particular question here: how to find investors for wholesale flipping to pay you $10,000 to $20,000 per lead. So like I was saying earlier, they're really, in most cases, 99.999% of the time, no cash buyers. There's no such thing as cash buyers. Everybody is dependent on the next person to try to close the deal. And the real buyers in the game, guess who the real buyers in the game are? They're just regular guys like you and I. They're people that are still going to 9 to 5. They're trying to get into real estate. They're trying to secure their first property. There are people that are not looking for 40 cents on a dollar, okay? People that are only looking for 40 cents on the dollar are pretty much the real non-players in the game, okay? Sometimes they claim to have been in the business for 20, 30, 25, 30 years. They've been in the game longer, but there's a lot of idle time in between all of that. And essentially, they are of no value to your business, okay? So how do we solve that problem, okay? So let me give you a clear scenario of what I'm talking about. Again, when you go through the fortune builders, the Ron LeGrand, and all this all this courses out there on real estate wholesaling, real estate flipping, bird dogging, real estate investing. You were taught, most people were taught that there are cash buyer and cash buyers. In fact, there are some of this program that I've put together like a little small community, like a forum, right? Where all you had to do is just post your leads, post vacant properties, post houses that needs to be sold, right? And then boom, somebody's gonna pick it up. We have so many investors in the room, somebody's gonna pick it up and we're gonna make $20,000. Yeah, right. It doesn't work that way. And if you've been in this game long enough, you will know that most people are non-players in the game. They're not really playing game. What is the game exactly? Really, at the end of the day, no matter what type of business you're in, right? No matter what type of business you're in the business of marketing. Okay, your job as a real estate wholesaler or as a real estate investor is to find and identify deals. What are deals? Deals are essentially deals that are priced 65% on a dollar. Okay, 65 cents on a dollar. That means if your house was worth $100,000 in a good shape, have to repair, right? Then you shouldn't be paying no more than $65,000 for it as a wholesaler or as an investor. But here's the thing: how many times are you gonna find such deals? Okay, they're not very common. Okay, they are gonna happen, but those kind of deals only happen to one set of type of people only. Okay, these are people that are active marketers in the game. Okay, and I know that for a fact because I have done over 40 deals myself. So the only way you're going to encounter such deals is to be a problem solver in the game, is to be a marketer in the game. Okay, is to come to the table with a level headed of solution, and don't come to the table with I have a formula 65% or that's it. Okay, if you do that, you're not going to find deals. Okay, you're not going to find deals. So what you need to learn how to do is number one, marketing, number two, prospecting, okay, and number three, problem solving. Okay, so again, as far as cash buyers, let's go back to cash buyers because today I want to talk to you how to find investors. When you do, so I'm assuming that you already know how to find good deals. Okay, and I'm assuming that you understand that good deals does not always mean 65% LTV, or sorry, ARV. It doesn't always mean that. A good deal can actually be 85%, can actually be 75% of the 100%. It can actually be sometimes 90%. So far that you understand what I'm about to share with you in this video. As long as you understand what I'm about to share with you in this video, then there's no one size fits all for your business. You're in the game of creating revenue, and sometimes when all else fails, right? Sometimes when it seems like there's no way around it, because you're a problem solver, you see the loopholes, you see where something is missing. For example, we already know right now that it's a big problem that there's really no cash buyers. 99.999% of the time, when you meet somebody that claims they're a cash buyer, they're just a wholesaler who will probably never buy from you. Okay, and if there's any of them, they're very, very few. Okay, in any particular local market, I can put my money that you will never meet more than three. Okay, on any local market. And if you have just three and you have about 20,000 people being trained to become real estate wholesaler in your local market alone every year, guess what? Then you have low supply of people that will actually pick up properties from you based on what is written in the textbook, right? But you and I know that on the streets it's a little bit different. Like Wall Street is different from Main Street, right? That's a fact. There's something called street smart. There's something called book smart. It's very important that you understand a little bit about what's going on in the book so you can understand how to differentiate from the street. On the street, you have to be a problem solver. Okay, you have to keep lines of communications always open, because somebody told you they can't sell you their house for $65,000 when the house is actually worth $100,000 does not mean you short the doors. You need to come up with other solutions. You need to learn how to come up with other solutions. Okay, and yes, some of those textbooks and courses have other solutions, but they're typically still things that are not necessarily feasible in the marketplace. For example, here in New Jersey, I don't see a lot of people doing lease option, or things like lease back with option, and crazy things like that, because typically once somebody sold you a house, you're in a safer place when they just move on. Okay, if somebody sold you a house and they're still in the game, in the picture somehow, some way, you risk you risk getting the lawsuit. Okay, you risk getting sued by the homeowner because consumers can be crazy. Okay, they can turn around and say you stole their house from them, and that does happen. Okay, so that's why personally I prefer I move on once somebody sold me a house or sold a house through me. Okay, so now where's the money? Okay, because at the end of the day, if you're trying to run a business, the real question you should be asking is, where's my money? Like Grant Cardone would say, right? Where's your money? Your money is definitely not in the hands of a cash buyer who has no cash, because there's no cash, right? And so you're gonna hear cash buy a lot. You're gonna hear cash buy a lot. I want you to change your language. I want you to promise me and change and commit right now to changing that language. Change it completely to end buyer. Okay, an end buyer. What you're looking for is an end buyer. How they're gonna come up with the money to buy the property from or through you, it's really should be open. It should be open to multiple different possibilities. It shouldn't be just all cash. Okay, because again, when somebody cash costs a lot of money, that's something you should need to know. Somebody putting their like an individual putting down cash, cost it costs a lot of money. Every $1 costs money. Okay, and therefore people usually don't want to park their money in the midst of a property for no more than 1 day. Okay, and if it's more than 1 day, chances are they're in the business of banking. Okay, does that make sense? There's a very high chance there's a very high chance that that person is simply in the business of banking, like a bank, like a lender. You know, if they're a lender, then that's what they do. But a person who claims to be a flipper, a person who claims to be somebody who fix and flip houses, an investor, typically don't want to leave a ton of money parked into a house for 6 months, when that money could be flipped multiple times over and make 10 times that money within that period of time. And because of that, you're not going to find a lot of cash buyers in the marketplace. Everybody that understands the game of real estate or business ownership or the game of entrepreneurship in general understand the word leverage. They always leverage other people's money. And sometimes leveraging other people's money means, hey, I'm just a wholesaler. Yes, I'm a cash buyer until I say, hey, this doesn't fit my 65, 55% ARV formula. So I'm going to have to help you find a buyer. Guess what? They were just a wholesaler all along. Okay. So I want you to know that as we move on forward right now. So, what is the solution if there are no cash buyers, right? Remember, I told you what you need to be looking for is end buyers. End buyers could be anybody, starting from somebody that's buying their first home or their first property ever to somebody that has bought 30, 40, 50, 100, right? It could be anything in between. The key thing I want to share with you here is that you need to treat every single one of them equally. That means with respect. Okay, you need to treat every single one of them equally. Okay, I'm telling you right now, as a wholesaler closing over 40 deals, I have never closed a single one with a cash buyer. Okay, that's a new news flash for you that you should take and run with to the bank. I've never closed a single one with the cash buyer. And guess what? I've been around a lot of people in the game as well too. Okay, and I have never seen a transaction, because I see friends close their own deals. I've never seen a transaction with a straight cash, like somebody actually wired the cash in. I've never seen one. So I probably had one or two scenario where somebody almost wired in some money because I was going to pay them back 2 days later, right? And but it's always fell apart. Okay, like for example, one of my last deals that I no actually sorry yeah one of my last deals that I did, this gentleman was supposed to come to the table and wire in 100 grand and do the deal, and he was going to get paid about 10% 2 days later, so we can just close the deal and clean, keep the title work and stuff clean, stuff you will understand later, right? And guess what? Last minute, he pulled the trigger. He brought his lawyer to the table. His lawyer brought a bunch of paperwork to the table, started requesting for us to pay $2,000 for some crazy paperwork. You know what? All in the name of they're trying to protect themselves. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know exactly if they were trying to protect themselves or not, but what I'm trying to tell you is that they're full of it. Okay, they're full of shit, essentially. Okay, so don't approach this game of real estate wholesaling or real estate investing with the don't put anybody on the pedestal. Essentially, what I'm saying is don't put people on the pedestal calling them cash buyers. In most cases, 99.999% of the time, they're lying. Okay, so now what is the solution? Let's talk about the solution. Well, I already mentioned one, right? I said don't put anybody on the pedestal, just treat everybody equally. Either they are coming into the marketplace for the first time to buy their first investment property, or even a home, or a person that's bought about 200 properties. It doesn't matter to you, because fundamentally you are a marketer, marketer, okay? And you're in the business of the solution here: build your own list. Okay, build your own list. When you go to your local real estate investment association, the local REA, go there to collect business cards. You're not there to give business cards. I'm giving you a secret right now. Okay, you can have business cards in case somebody asks for it. You can have a couple in your wallet, but you're not going there to give your business cards, because you're not in the business of giving your contact information. That's not what you're in. You're in the business of collecting people's contact information. Build your own list, because you're going to be marketing out to these people. These people, yes, they may not be cash buyers, but they may be connected to the person that's an actual buyer. There's a difference between cash buyer and an actual buyer. Okay, so this is a battle between cash versus actual buyer. Which one pays you money? The actual buyer will pay you money. Cash buyer is a title that was made up, in my opinion, that was made up by the gurus of real estate investing. Okay, some of them, sometimes, yes, I'm not going to say never that they don't use their cash, but the deal must make sense. It must make an absolute sense. And usually they use their cash when it's a scenario that they need to save a deal. A deal has like 80 grand in it, and if they don't drop a cash today, because the money that they're waiting for, maybe from wire and from leveraged money, is coming in 2, 3, 4, 5 days later, or maybe because of title chain issues, they are required to use their own cash first. They will tie up their cash for a few days. You sometimes, yes, they will do that, and some of them have that money. It just doesn't make any logical sense to tie up money for 3, 6 months or years when you can flip that money for more money. Because again, money costs money, right? Money costs more money, especially with time on top of it. There's time value of money, right? So that's why, from a logical standpoint, people don't like to tie their money down with a deal that, frankly, things can go wrong, right? So they'll rather tie the bank's money, because the bank is in the business of lending money. They're not in the business of lending money. They're in the business of flipping properties. They're in the business of making profit from buying and selling, right? And guess what? You are just in the same game. So here's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, you need to start seeing yourself as a player. Okay, you need to see yourself as a player, even a lot of times, by just being on this video, better than the so-called savvy investors. Okay, many of them don't even understand what is possible in this digital age. They don't. Okay, they don't. Hundreds of people are going to see this video over time. Okay, many of them can't even figure out how. Right now, as I'm recording, there's only one person that's watching me live, and that's perfectly fine, because the way it's set up is that people will watch over and over time, right? Which is why I spend my live sessions on YouTube, because of the search algorithms. People can search for videos like this and find it over time, right? They don't understand all of that. The only thing they think of is tangible, quote unquote tangible, which means it has to be physical. But you and I know that we don't live in that kind of world any longer. So now you're just on the same level as any investor in the marketplace. As a wholesaler, you need to build your own list. Okay, you need to build your own list of buyers and actual buyers. Okay, and actual buyers. Who cares about cash buyers? All of them is cash. Okay, it doesn't matter. They're all cash. Okay, is that making sense? Am I making sense here? If I'm making sense, please give me a thumbs up. Okay, please give me a thumbs up if I'm making sense. What you're looking for is what you see here: and actual buyers. Okay, and actual buyers. Build your own list. Build your own list, and that's what I want to talk about today. Now, there's a couple of reasons. There are two reasons. That's number 3 and 4, where you want to build your own list. Okay, it gives you such an edge. It gives you an edge above everything else that's going on in the marketplace. Everybody is struggling for the same deal. Okay, everybody is struggling trying to capture the same deal. Everybody is using the same old school formula, right? But you're approaching the game without necessarily a need to store tons of inventory. Okay, so if you don't know anything about Amazon, the biggest business in the marketplace right now, well, the number one and the only $100 billion guy ever is the Jeff Bezos, the guy who owns Amazon.com, right? You know why? Because it doesn't need to have overglorified warehouses with a front store where people walk in, and then you're paying all this money to employees to babysit and clean people's poops off of the aisle and stuff. It doesn't need all that. All it does is maintain a few warehouses in any local area, right? And it ships stuff out to people's houses. It focuses on convenience, okay? It focuses on convenience for all parties involved. I want you to approach the game with a new mindset. You're approaching the game with convenience for the people that are existing in the marketplace of real estate investing, right? How can you come into the marketplace and make their life more convenient? There's something I'm going to share with you. All the gurus right now that you see send emails of properties and stuff like that, there's something that all of them are looking for. They're looking for buyers, okay? All of them, even the so-called established ones, they all want buyers. They just want buyers. And guess what? You, in their eyes, you are a prospective buyer, okay? But guess what? They're absolutely right about that, because you may be bringing the buyer to the table. You want to know how to make money fast in this game right now without having to crack your brain on where's the deal, where's this, that, how do you do this, what contract do you use? I see people asking questions, what contracts do you use, without having a means to use the contract. What's the point of knowing what contract to use when you're not talking to anybody, when nobody's calling your phone, right? Or forget that. Let's say people are calling your phone and you have deals on the table, like myself back in 2008 and 9 when the market crashed. I had 30 short sale deals on my table, but they all had to go in the garbage because there was no buyers. Okay, so at the end of the day, one thing you need is buyers. And if you notice, and I'm avoiding the word investors in this moment in time, because ultimately you need them to buy first. You need them to be buyers. There's a lot of people, meaning of words change over time. Okay, it just does. Okay, the meaning of any word, like for example, hustle in some people's contacts used to mean stealing, but now hustle means you're working hard. That's because mankind, we're always changing, we're evolving, and sometimes we change the meaning of words. Well, let me give you the new meaning of investor. Investor, the new meaning of investor is people that are dreamers, that have never closed a single deal in their life. They never sold a single thing. That's the new meaning of investor. But the word buyer will never change, because buyers means you pull out your wallet, or you pull out a check, or you wired some money in, some real money, actually exchange hands. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for end and actual buyers. Okay. You're looking for end and actual buyers. Doesn't matter if they use the bank money. Doesn't matter to you if they use hard money loan. Frankly, doesn't matter if they use their own cash. That's their personal problem, and that's their personal choice, right? It doesn't matter what they use, as long as it translates to real cash in your bank account. What is real cash in your bank account? It's just numbers on a computer, because doesn't mean you're going to pull that out in cash and bring that to the house, right? So again, you got to change your mindset on how you look at this whole thing, okay? So the solution here is you got to build your own list, and you got to build your own list. You got to build your own list, and that list needs to be anybody, anybody, no matter what level of expertise. It doesn't have to be cash buyers. I see people get into the game and they're so particular. No, you never know. Somebody could have cash. No, they don't. I know 99.99% of the time they don't have cash. And if they do, it doesn't make sense for them to tie it on your house. Okay, they'd rather use leverage money, because that allows them, because there's a difference between purchasing power and what you can buy right now, right? So purchasing power in America is bigger than the actual cash that we have. It extends into credit lines. Okay, that's why the whole country is owing, I don't know, what is it right now? The national debt, $23 trillion, whatever, right? Because your purchasing power is not limited to your cash, right? This is why people don't use their cash, because they use that same cash they have to buy more purchasing power. Okay, this goes viral. What I'm saying right now goes viral. Okay, so number 3, when you build your own list, you get to make more money, not just from the leads that are calling you from your marketing to sellers and motivated sellers and distressed property. Not just from that. You have a list right now. That list is money. That list is the number one asset in your business. Okay, is the number one biggest asset, maybe after time, because time, once you lose time, you don't get time back. That's why you have to pay attention to what I'm saying right now. If you waste time and you come back to this knowledge 2 years from now, you just lost time that you will never gain back again. You can make money back, but you can't make time back. Okay, but after time as an asset is your list. and the relationship you have with that list. Okay, so there's going to be people sitting on your list that you can do one-on-one consulting with. You can even charge them money for that one-on-one consulting. If you get really good at building a huge list, you can create an offer where you charge money consulting, to advise them, because that's exactly what lawyers and what do you call them, accountants, that's what they do. They just give professional advices and they make money from that. That's what medical doctors do too. Okay, so now, after you consult with them and you train them on how to identify properties and things like that, then you can simply turn around and hook them up with the right property based on what you taught them, right? And the right property does not have to be 65% of ARV. That's what I'm trying to tell you right now. Some people are okay with 80% of ARV. As a matter of fact, ARV is in most cases a useless number. The real number you should be paying attention to in any property is how productive is that property. That means how much income, rental income is coming from that property. How much is the square footage on that property? How much is that worth to a person that will want to rent it? That's the only thing that matters in real estate at the end of the day. Everything else is fluctuating up and down based on people's emotions. And that's why people get affected by market crashes, because it's mostly emotions, right? But you, as a savvy marketer, you need to enter the marketplace and start looking at value a little bit different. Yes, you need to understand ARV, right? Because that ARV, somebody is buying based on that. So it's okay to sell to them, right? However, for you as a person, you can see a property and it may not fit your 65% ARV, but you may look at other numbers like how much is it worth, how much the rental property, how much the rental income on this property. Okay, it's only 85 ARV, but it makes sense for a person to buy them. All the while, you have a list of buyers that are sitting there looking for a profitable situation, a property that's cash flowing, where they don't have to be a landlord. They can just be an investor, because you've also structured, you can actually structure in property management into the deal where you're getting paid monthly. You sold them the house for a lot more than 65% ARV. They're still cash flowing, but they don't have to deal with the house. The rental is paying down the mortgage on the property, right? That means they're building equity by the day. They're bringing in $200-300 cash flow every month from a property they never have to show up to. You do all the work of property management. You have a ton of them. You create income for yourself. What I'm saying right now is something that you're only going to find the details of it on the inside. But it starts with learning that you need to build your list. You need to build your list. You need to create money out of thin air. If you're just looking for money based on existing formula that everybody is trying to chase after, and you wonder why you're not making money, that's exactly why. Because again, it's oversaturated. The ARV thing is oversaturated. If I find an ARV deal, that means a 55% of ARV deal, right? I'll take it. Okay, I'll take it. But usually I find out because I'm in the marketplace with busy with other things anyway, and that just falls in my lap. But that wasn't just luck. I got luckier than an average person because I'm in the game, working with what's available in the game already, trying to create solutions out of what's in the game already. So, for example, somebody wants to sell their property for $220,000, right? And the property is only worth $250,000. And then when I did the math, this property, somebody purchased it for $250, they're cash flowing $300 every month without having to deal with any repairs. It's fully rented out. Why wouldn't I take on that deal and give it to somebody who would be happy with that? Why would I say no to that deal? Because my quote unquote cash buyers, who are never going to buy anything anyway from me, most likely not, right? 99%, 99.999, right? Why would I just be looking for those people when I could actually make this deal happen and still make 20 grand from that deal? On top of that, I can create $300 residual income every month from that. Okay, if you want to understand the details of all of this, you need to get all the way inside. Go get the book if you're brand new here, myempirepro.com. Okay, and if you're already here, you're the book, you're already a member with us or something like that, and you want more details of this, I want you to take advantage of my Empire comprehensive offer. Okay, you need to take advantage of that, because the details of how we do that is also inside that as well too, as far as on a one-on-one coaching basis. Okay, now collaborations can happen. Anybody that understands the game of entrepreneurship knows that you cannot be one tree that makes a forest. It just doesn't happen. You need to learn how to collaborate with others. Now, going after people and asking for collaborations without bringing value to the table is a big mistake that I see people make. Okay, people ask, can you be my mentor? You're not bringing any value to the table. Chances are I'm not going to take you serious as a mentee. Okay, because it's going to be a waste of my time. And like I said earlier, the number one asset is time, because I don't get it back once I waste it. So one of the number one thing that I really have to be careful on how I invest is my time. Okay. So collaborations is can create a lot of income for you, but the value you can bring to the table with collaboration is when you build a list of potential buyers. When you build a list of potential buyers, you can bring tons of value to the table for other investors, all those wholesalers that are looking for buyers that are posting on Craigslist all the time. If you have a healthy list of people waiting for the right deal, people that are happy with $500 cash flow, $300 cash flow, people that are happy with 10% ROI on their cash on cash returns, right? As opposed to people looking to make a killer 35% equity, right? If you have a ton of people like that on your list, you can collaborate with anybody in the game, including all these so-called cash buyers, because many of them are playing in the game, but they're playing a different way than they claim. Okay, they're still flipping properties, they're just not buying nothing with cash. Okay, you can collaborate with many of them. If you have a huge list and a huge following, guess who's going to respect you in the game? Everybody respect you. Guess who the guru is? You are the guru. You are the guru. Nobody else is the guru. You are the guru now because you have the list and people are following you and they know you, they like you, they trust you because they see you show them how to break down a deal without getting stuck with this stupid 65 55% ARV thing. Okay, I love 55 65% ARV, but it's a stupid thing to just wait on because in most cases it doesn't happen. You have to be creative if you want to make money in this game. Okay, so collaboration, so you get to make a lot more money, you get to do collaborations, and you get to flip your own properties that you find very quick. Okay, you get to flip your own properties that you find very quick. So the number 5 points that I want to fill you in here is online traffic. How do you build your own list? Online traffic. Everybody's hanging out online. Okay, everybody, their moms, their pops, your uncles, their sister, your children, while they're at the dining table, they're on their phone. Everybody's hanging out online. Okay, there are groups online. There are people that have signified on Facebook that their interest is real estate investing. Okay, some of you see me do that here when I set up ads. You see me target these people. They're in the millions of people. They're the people that follow fortune builders. They're the people that follow Ron LeGrand. They're the people that follow Amando. They're the people that follow all the gurus, right? All these people are potential and actual buyers. Okay, they're just looking for someone to show them how to do it properly without waiting for non-realistic deals like 55% ARV. Okay, they can make some good money, they can build their portfolio with time, because people, while you wait, let me tell you something, people don't know the value of time. Okay, while you wait for 65% ARV, time is going by, and time is worth more than money, like I've been saying here, right? In that time period, you can grab a property that's maybe only 90% of ARV, but you grab it because it's cash flowing by itself. It's already, the number has built in property management already. That means you don't have to answer calls on broken toilets, right? All you have to do is just be the person that owns the property, and the rental is paying for the property itself, so it's paying down the loan. That means you're building equity with that time that you could be losing, and you're building equity just because of positioning. You position yourself into a deal that's going to be there anyway. Okay, and then you can have portfolios of properties like that, and you can use that to stand for even newer loans, to lump all of them together in a portfolio, in a portfolio loan. There's all type of creativity that can happen when you know how to use time in your favor like that. And now what I just share with you is not necessarily for you, you're a wholesaler, right? But it's stuff you can share with your audience when they start to get on your list. And this is the reason why they will know you, like you, and trust you, because nobody else is teaching that out there. Does that make sense? Most people are going after 65%, so you can flip it for, I like that kind of deal too. But I'm telling you right now that those kind of deals comes in through the channels, the multiple channels of money that you're making anyway. Okay, does that make sense? So you need to learn how to set up online traffic. Okay, attract people to a list, build a list. That means get people subscribing to a list, and you need to learn how to create content that get them to do that, because they're not just going to give you their email address. You got to give something of value in exchange for that. That whole process is what I explained in details in the 200 pages publication at myempirepro.com. Is absolutely for free. Okay, if you are already here as a member here, you know exactly what to do. If you're not sure what to do, find me on Facebook. message me and say, Ola, I'm ready to get started. I need to start taking some action. How can you help? That's what you need to do. If you're brand new here, chances are you are a very smart individual, and I promise you're going to learn so much inside of the book, myempirepro.com. If anything I've said to you here so far today has made any ounce of any sense to you, give me a thumbs up. I'll appreciate that. If you know anybody that will benefit from this particular video, grab the link. It should be available in the next 2-3 minutes once I'm done, right? Grab the link and share it. Or simply, if you don't know, if you can't think of anybody right now, just click on the share button right below this video and share it to your social media network. And don't forget to subscribe, because I do, like, until May 3rd right now, I'm on a spree. So I'm going to be recording a lot, doing a lot of this every day at different times. If you go on my channel, you see the coming up one, right? And but always make sure you come back here every day. The best way to make sure you come back here every day is to subscribe to the channel and click the bell, right next to the subscribe notice, and take advantage of it. Okay, so that's what I have for you on this particular episode. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated, and I'll see you on the next one, and peace.